Hello, my name is Sylvia and you are watching our PTV News. On March 12, 2026, members of the Regent Park Social Development Plan Planning Committee met to review key governance documents, discuss the progress of working groups, and consider how the network continues to coordinate collaboration between residents, stakeholders, and community organizations. During the meeting, members revisited the purpose statement that outlines the Planning Committee roles within the SDP Network, reviewed the scope of the conflict resolution process, and shared updates from the network's working groups. The committee also discussed preparing an update on their progress for the City of Toronto and explored the possibility of connecting their work with the Toronto Strong Neighbourhood Strategy. The meeting began with a discussion led by Adonis Huggins, co-chair of Communications Working Group, to review a new draft of the Planning Committee's purpose statement. Let's jump in to see what they have to say about it.
Okay, so there's the agenda. Can you move it up a little bit again, Brandy? So we have review of the purpose statement, a communications working group report, a conflict resolution process review, and then draft letter to the city. And then under new business, we have the Toronto Strong Neighborhood Strategy, and then announcements. Any other changes to the agenda?
No.
Great. So hearing none, let's get started. So let's go to the purpose statement review. So before we get started, just a little context. This is the SDP Social Development, the Regent Park Social Development Plan Network. And under the network, we have 4 working groups that generally meet monthly. They are related to 4 focus areas that residents had identified as important to the community. Those focus areas relate to each of the working groups. So we have a community building working group, a safety working group, a employment and economic development working group, and a communications and outreach working group. And those working groups are coordinated, are supported through the planning committee, the SDP Planning Committee. So this is what we're here now. This forum right here is the SDP Planning Committee. So any member of the working groups could be involved with the SDP Planning Committee. In fact, any resident could be involved with the SDP Planning Committee. We want residents who are come to the Planning Committee to be connected to one or more of the working groups. So that's the Planning Committee. And then we have a stakeholders table where everybody who's part of the membership gets together and meet. It happens 4 times a year. But generally, the Planning Committee meets every week. We have alternative meetings Thursdays at 5 or 1 o'clock, unless they're canceled. So they alternate every Thursday between 5 p.m. to 7 and 1 to 3. So welcome to the 5 to 7 Planning Committee meeting. And as part of this agenda item, we are looking at we had a strategic planning session, and there were some items that were passed. Well, it was passed by the stakeholders table. And as part of those, the stakeholders passing those items, they reflect changes that we have made to the planning committee. So now we're updating the planning committee, what the purpose of the planning committee is. So again, it went to the stakeholders table. They approved the changes, but we kept using the old purpose statement of the planning committee, so now we're revising it. Any questions so far for anybody? I count on my volunteer Deanie traditionally.
Okay, so the purpose of the Regent Park Social Development Plan Network Planning Committee. It's a revised draft. It says the Regent Park SDP Network Planning Committee shares decision-making with the SDP stakeholders table and provides overall coordination and alignment with the SDP network by supporting the SDP network table to ensure that the meetings are effective for reporting, decision-making, and engagement, supporting the 4 working groups and the committees, reviewing strategic direction, action priorities, and stakeholder and resident engagement, identifying information and/or expertise that the network requires in order to make sound and informed decisions, developing different engagement approaches that increase the capacity of all stakeholders to participate in the network, acting as a liaison with stakeholders and government representatives, and establishing subcommittees as needed.
So that is the change. So this is what we, in talking with people who are part of the agenda committee, feel that that this draft reflects what we meet about and our purpose. Any discussions, questions, objections, changes?
One question, I wasn't there as part of the agenda planning, but what about making sure that the terms of reference are followed? Like, is that because the stakeholders table did give the planning committee the ability to make those decisions? Was that taken into consideration in this draft?
Michael, do you want to respond to that?
I don't know, that might open up a whole philosophical debate, but personally, I would like to keep the wording as it says, coordinate and alignment, and not put the role of the terms of reference on one particular body within the SDP, because it's actually a general agreement amongst all of us. But that's just my opinion.
Any thoughts around that?
I wanna make an amendment to this draft, and the amendment is the RPSDP Network Planning Committee shares decision making with the SDP stakeholders table and provides overall coordination and alignment for the SDP network while respecting its terms of reference by, and then everything else. So adding that specific phrase. Was that caught in the minutes or in the
I
document?
guess the question is, who's responsible for the terms of reference?
It's
Isn't
both.
it
It's all the working groups.
Yeah.
It's the committee, the planning committee. It's the stakeholders table. Of course, it's everybody. But there's no reference at all of the terms of reference. So I want to make sure it's mentioned.
So I'm okay with that, to say while respecting the terms of reference, because that is consistent with what I said. So I'm okay with that.
Okay, so the revision is the RPSDP Network Planning Committee shares decision-making with this SDP stakeholders table and provides overall coordination and alignment for the SDP. What is it?
For the SDP network, while
respecting
respecting the terms of reference by.
Wow.
And then the bullets. Yeah.
I may probably put it differently. Maybe I would start with guided by the terms of reference, the RPSDP network.
That even reads way better. I'm fine with that.
Making with the.
Yeah.
So we want to put it guided by the terms of reference first.
Where did you want to put guided by the?
In the
Right
beginning.
at the beginning.
So up here between,
Yeah.
sorry, the RDSP, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So put guided by,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Put the
Guided
rest
by
of the
the
statement,
terms
guided
of
by the
reference.
terms of, yep.
The SDP terms of reference.
The
SDP network term.
The SB, yes, the SDP network's terms of reference. Sorry.
Oh, good. Network terms of reference. Yep.
Comma.
Yep. Like that.
Yeah.
I think that should be
Okay.
count.
Any objections? Any other changes? Any revisions? Anything that needs to be talked about? Open to that discussion. So it's all clear for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, Dini, is that a hand?
No, I just noticed that Gail's gone and so is Rasdeen.
Okay. Do we still have, I think we still have
Quorum.
quorum.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so we are voting on this. Essentially, is there any objections to the revision of the purpose statement of the SDP network planning table? No objections? Okay, well, I'm hearing no objections. This is no longer a revised draft. This is effective March the 10th, 2026.
March the
Brandy-
12th.
Oh, March the 12th.
Yeah.
Brandy, can you make that change, please? Revised as of March the 12th, 2026. Not draft. Take out the word draft now.
And it'll be added to, will it be put anywhere? It's going to be on anywhere in the website?
Yeah, it will be put on where we have information about the planning committee. And it will be put on our top of the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's saved now as revised March 12th. Do you want me to take this now and put it onto our document or
Yeah.
agenda right now?
Yeah, no rush. We're
Okay.
moving on to the next item. You could do
Yeah.
that while we're doing that.
Yeah. Let me just.
And maybe send me
The copy of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do.
And just an FYI, on our website, I looked to see what it said as far as the upcoming meetings, and it actually said Thursday, March 10th, 1 to 3, agenda planning. So it was a really big mess.
Oh boy. Okay. I'll have
On
to
the
take-
website or?
On
The
our
website.
website, that's what, under
Okay.
upcoming meetings,
Okay.
that's what it
Okay.
said. Thursday, March 10, 1 to 3, agenda planning.
Okay, thank you for that.
The committee then reviewed the network's conflict resolution process. As you'll see, there is a line within the document that completely broadens the scope of what the SDP network is capable of.
So to provide context to everyone, the conflict resolution process is a process that is followed when there's a conflict between members and they can't fail to resolve that themselves. It's called the Social Development Formal Conflict Resolution Process. I don't know if we need to go through it exactly, but there was one thing that I think it was approved by the Shaping Culture Committee, if I understand.
Yes.
Yes.
And as I was reading it, there was one sentence that I objected to, which I'm bringing up today. And that is, if you go down the document, scroll down, Brandon. Sorry, go back up again, the last paragraph. Right here. So the document says we also would like to make this process available to Regent Park residents as a whole doing community work. If that describes you and you would like to use the supports available through these documents, you are warmly invited to do so. The challenge is that I feel that we don't have the resources to deal with formal conflicts between members of the community. We're really about dealing with conflicts related to the network,
Within the network, yeah.
members within the network. So I would like to remove this whole two sentences.
Did you want me to remove it now, or are we voting on it? Sorry, just want to
We
make sure.
will vote on it. I'm just waiting for any objections to it.
I'm okay with that. But I would also like to hear from anybody who does have suggestions about community conflict resolution, but I can okay with taking it out of this particular process.
Okay, so we're going to a formal vote then. Again, we are not here to resolve conflicts between the whole community or members of the community. We are here only for the network. So we are, again, any objections? Hearing none, we now could remove those two sentences. Did you remove it, Brandy?
I'm trying to, but as I
Yeah.
tried to remove it, it said I had to save it, so I was gonna save it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So let me just try to see. Oh, wait, I could do it this way. I could do
Okay.
it this way without saving. And done, Adonis.
Okay, and now we could add it to the website as part of the process of making a formal, go through the formal conflict resolution process. Great.
So save this document, send it back to you along with the purpose.
Sure, you could do that.
Yeah. I came across some really interesting information in regards to conflict resolution that was called like the conflict resolution like reminder. And it's not so much like anything about changing or anything to do with that would change our process, but I thought it was really helpful. And I was wondering if there is different tips or things like that that are helpful. Would it be good to be or okay to be able to put that in our on our website in that tab?
Yeah, I'm not making that decision. So basically, well, you know
Well,
what?
we don't have that group hasn't met, so Shaping Culture doesn't have a group anymore.
Yeah, no,
It's
I get
disbanded.
it.
You
So
could bring it to the communications group.
Okay,
yes,
All
that's
right,
what I
I'm
was.
good.
okay, I will.
How are you?
Okay, let's move on. So, Thank you. So we're moving on to the next item. The communications working group. Okay, Brandy, I'm going to send you a document. I should have probably sent it to you. Sorry, folks. Okay, while we're waiting, so this part of our agenda item relates to, we've asked each of the working groups to do a update as to where they are. Essentially to find out what some of the gaps are, what some of the needs are, what supports could be offered to the group. And we had a submission made by the safety. And they, part of their reporting is I think some of the things that we indicated where some gaps are is obviously they could use more residents coming, but they get quite a good attendance, I hear, and that there's not mental health providers don't mental health organizations that are doing work in Regent Park don't come to the meetings. And there was a recommendation to see if they can be engaged. So as far as communications, so the next report is communications. We're having employment and economic development. If they're not coming today, hopefully they will be there at 1 next week. Brandy, whenever you're ready, you could bring in the document that I sent you.
Are you aware that there's been a change in our attendance here?
Sorry, can you not see the document on screen?
Yeah,
Not
no,
yet.
we saw it.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I'm just alerting people that there's been a decrease in attendance here.
Yeah, I think a couple of people who mentioned that they couldn't stay.
Yeah, Razadine, Tamana, and Nadia are all gone.
Yeah. Okay, for the record. This is not this is our notes from our past meeting, but for the record. So the purpose of the communications outreach working group is to build and promote social cohesion and inclusion among resident groups and stakeholders by making information about the SDP network and its working groups easily accessible for everyone in the community, and to outreach, recruit, and support new members to participate in the SDP.
The committee then reviewed the progress of the SDP's working groups and the concept of recording minutes for reports and to maintain transparency. Let's see what the members have to say.
The activities that we have is whenever possible to archive and report on the SDP network meetings, events, and activities for Regent Park News and Catch the Flavor newsletter, a monthly newsletter serving Regent Park. Promote and disseminate information about the SDP network to the Regent Park community. Enhance SDP stakeholders meetings by providing audio and video technical support whenever possible. And to develop outreach, recruitment and retainment strategies that increase the participation of residents and stakeholders in the SDP network and its activities. Bringing down a little bit. Brandy, scroll down. To build and maintain a website to serve as a communication platform to help community members access information about the SDP network and support the ongoing development of the Hello Neighborhood app. to develop an orientation slideshow that can be used to recruit and support new members to participate in the SDP and to hold X number of orientation sessions yearly, to develop a SDP brochure for the outreach activities. So that's the purpose of the purpose and the activities of the communications working group. Currently, where some of our gaps are is we don't have outreach people at this point. I mean, resident outreach. So we're hoping at some point to be able to have residents, our staff tables, SDP table at events that happen in the community. So we don't have that. We are working on a brochure to support that as well. So those are two gaps. One gap, another gap is currently outside of Gale, there's not there's no and Waleed, of course, residents that are on this committee. So have come lately. So I'm trying to reconnect with Mershada as well as a couple other residents who were formerly involved. Hopefully we'll see them at the next meeting. We are looking at, we talked recently with Brandy about updating the membership list and sending it to the communications working group. We also, so that's, we have developed an orientation slideshow that we are currently in the midst of revising, making it better. And as you know, we have a website, again, needs to be, make sure that information is accurate. I'll leave it at that. Though there's one other item, the Hello Neighborhood app. We are reviewing for next meeting. We're reviewing the memorandum with Hello Neighborhood app. My personal opinion is that the Hello Neighborhood app hasn't been successful. It's not hasn't been a successful activity. And the question is whether or not we should be continuing to support it, however way we do it, and whether we should just leave that as YSM's piece, an RPNA, or the other stakeholders of the, besides the communications table, the other stakeholders of the Hello Neighborhood app. So that's where we are. I'll open to questions.
Are those minutes in our drive, or will they be going on our website, or how do you access those minutes?
No, those minutes are kept with, at this point, Focus.
Well, that's not helpful.
It's not on the drive. I
Can
don't
we
think any
do
members.
something?
I don't think any meetings are available on the drive. There's no.
Oh, okay. Well, quite frankly, maybe it's just selfish of me, but when I'm trying to do reports, it's hard to do reports when I can't get at information.
So what are you saying, Deanie?
Can we put the minutes either in on the drive or on the website?
I think the question is whether working groups should have their minutes on the drive. That's the question.
I support that for new members to be able to know what happened in the past and for accountability and transparency. So why not? I support it.
I guess I would say unless all working groups do it, it's just another app. Some are, some won't, some. So if that's a policy, a
Yeah.
process that
Well,
we
with safety
initiating,
participants in the group, the safety network meetings, we get the minutes.
okay, that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, well, part of this process is talking to all the working groups, and let's find out how my opinion is finding out how employment feels about that and what they're currently doing and whether
Yeah.
they have,
Do they want to share their minutes? Yeah.
and same with community building.
But I'm fine even if you're only sharing them with work group participants, because I am on the work group, but to have no access to the information at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's a communication, certainly a communication to share those minutes with them and with all the participants.
I just think it would be nice to be able to know what the work groups are doing. And one way to be able to do that is to look at the minutes. And one of the things when we were trying to do evaluation, again, one of the challenges was access to data, access to information.
Yeah, I have no complaints about that. I'm just saying that 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 yeah, groups, if we're saying groups need to do this, I'm not saying they need to do that. I'm saying that if we take this road, it'd be nice for all the groups to do it. But we don't know what kind of resources they have to do those minutes and so on. But let's have a discussion about that. But it's a good proposal.
Well, minutes were always part of the process. Well, minutes were always done before. I think two things is one, is it something that has to be documented so that as part of your onboarding to a group, you know that A, the minutes are recorded, and B, here's the location in which they're stored. The only reason maybe it's different now is because that's not documented anywhere, and we've had a change in co-chairship, and therefore that may be something that they have not continued. But, all through before COVID and after COVID, and during COVID, you got an email, usually by the end of the week with the link to the minutes that anyone could review. And then every working group, they also did that in some shape or form. And the only persons that were not was safety, and again they were still doing minutes, but they were not maybe calling out who was in the meeting and those kind of things. And they talked about the safety reason for them doing it that way, but that was always a thing. But if something's not documented and if it's not part of the continuum, then yeah, the next people coming on board may not even know that this thing exists in this way. So my point here is that we tend to say something is not happening, and then we say it should happen. We really have a process to help people to do that thing, and then that thing continues if we see that there's a benefit in the value in doing that thing.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion. I'm not saying it's not a good suggestion. So the question is, how can we support working groups to do that? So those are conversations that have to happen with the working groups in terms of if they're doing minutes already, it's easy ask to be able to put those minutes available
Yeah.
on the website.
I mean, we've talked a lot in the past about alignment.
Yeah,
When you've got two groups that may be doing something very similar,
Yeah.
or both trying to do something that's similar, there's an opportunity for those two groups to work together. But when you don't know.
Yeah. So we can make, well, it's up to the planning committee. Is that what the planning committee wants to request, that all working groups make minutes? Is that something you want to have a discussion with the working groups about? What's the process? What would you like the process to be?
I think if we are going to propose that they take minutes, we should offer templates of what the minutes should look like and offer options like, of how minutes can be taken, and let the group like provide us feedback on whether they have any challenges with minute taking. So
So,
sometimes it could be an administrative challenge, but let's hear from the working groups directly. But let's offer that's something that the planning committee recommends, so that decisions that are made by the working groups are documented for transparency's sake, and also for transition and orientation to new co-chairs and also to new members of the working group, so they know what has been done in the past and what decisions have been made.
so I would say that before if this is going to be a process, you have to really define why this thing is going to happen. So like, what is the value add for the network? And once you define that, then you're really presenting to the group, here's why we believe that these minutes are helpful, right? And then they are, that you now you get their buy-in and you can get their input. So maybe they may have some additional reasons why these are important. Then from there, we're talking about, well, what information are we gathering from those minutes? And of course, what resources to support them. So if you look at the real world situation, EED, you currently have one co-chair. They're working on a big project, so how would they be able to do it, right? And what supports would they need to make it happen? Like it's those little pieces. I think community building is probably one co-chair as well, right? So, is it, so then does it boil down to, we're going to ask them to record in Zoom and then we're supporting getting the information, or is it something else? I mean, those are further down the road, but I think we should really clearly define some strong whys that we communicate to the group. Because shit, minutes are labor intensive.
Gosh, this was simple when it started.
Again, you had lots of people at the table with buy-in. I think there should be minutes, but if I'm one person and I got kids and I got family, I got this and that, I don't know if I want to do minutes. I'm just saying, right? But and then let's add the other layer here is that now there's no honorarium for co-chairs. And how are people feeling about that? Oh, you want to add more work for me, but you don't want to give me any, like, there's all of that too, right? So that's why I started with, can we define what is the value add? Because at the end of the day, people do things when they see the value add for themselves. Like, that's the reality. And that value add, obviously they're coaches, and so making their life easy, but also communicating information and blah blah blah. But when they can see the value add, it's easier to bring people to the table rather than say, we think this is helpful in this way, and so you should do this thing. But I dare say that even at the beginning, well, I don't know what beginning, but the beginning when I was around, it was not easy. Right? We did have to find ways to help people to do the minutes. We had to, you had somebody meeting Lloyd with a big print, right? We had people getting yelled at because they didn't get the minutes on time and it's in PDF and they can't open PDF on their phone. And so It was difficult, but there was obviously value add, but because people were insistent that they wanted those minutes. I found the value add. It was helpful for me because there most times I couldn't make a 1 o'clock meeting. I can go through and skim the minutes. Currently, I don't know what's happening from week to week. If I don't come to a meeting, I don't know because there's no minutes.
Yeah.
I support Gail's proposal for minutes. I think it's important for
Friends,
transparency.
I don't have a proposal. I really just adding some discussion in terms of here's a way to
Okay.
go through. I don't have any proposal. I really don't.
So my concern is that if we're adding this to the chair's responsibility, that it's really going to discourage chairs.
Better believe
Okay,
it.
we'll forget it. Then we
But
don't
who's
need
gonna
any
do it?
information and we'll just
Yeah.
stay in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
No,
know. I
Never
think
no, that's
mind.
not what I'm
What do we
saying.
need information for?
I
Yeah,
think
that's what I
You know,
want to
we
say.
talk about being transparent and we talk all this
but we
good
have
game,
there's no
but
resources
we
for
have nothing in place to do that.
Yeah, we
yeah.
don't have the buy-in. I'm
We
gonna
don't.
leave it as not even reserved. We just don't have the buy-in, right? So, I mean, I say it all the time, but apparently I'm not supposed to say it. But you don't have anybody at your planning table. It's the same people. It's the on and on, and we're battling the resources. Doesn't mean we should stop. But I know that whole minutes thing is going to be a hard one, and I think
Mhm.
helping people to see the buy-in is sometimes a good way for them to say, okay, yes, I can see this, so I can go the extra mile. But if one were to look at what is the simplest and easiest thing to do, is to simply ask them to hit record because
Okay,
we've given them the Zoom, right? And
and
at the
that
end of
can
the
be
day,
shared?
somebody's got to decipher that. Sorry?
And that can be shared?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. But again, yeah, there's somebody got to decipher that, right? Which is what the Donna team was doing. But anyways, there is that. I don't. I understand exactly what you're saying, Adonis, and that is my concern that you're just going to that's another thing you're asking this very slim group to now do. I know EED's one and I know they're busy with that project. But I know Elena. Elena's like, oh, I'm gonna figure out a way. And I know that, they'll have folks they will try to assist. But at the end of the day, that's the reality. And then you have community building, right? You have safety is a little bit, they have maybe a little bit more resourcing to support, communications maybe to support. And sometimes too, you may have to say, you know what, those who can do it, let's start with that, and hoping that others can pick up steam along the way. Or as resourcing change for them, they jump on board as well.
Okay, that sounds like a good proposal. Um, any objections to that? If you can, do it. If you don't,
I would like
we
to
understand.
explore the option of hit record if a little further. If that's a way that it can be done.
Well, again, if all the Zoom meetings, if all meetings are Zoom, they're more than encourage them to record their meetings. Michael?
I think that safety probably still doesn't want it to be recorded.
They do
And
minutes.
okay. And I mean, there may be some meetings that are not on Zoom, but I guess for any other working groups that don't object to the recording, then if there's no objection, they can do it.
Mhm.
Okay. So is that a recommendation that we're asking? That if working groups can and have the resources to do it, we encourage minutes or recording of Zoom meetings
And sharing it,
and sharing it with the communications working group,
sharing it with communications. Okay.
yeah, as well as their members, obviously, but yes.
Well, I like that idea.
Yeah.
It will also tell you if people can, want to, will, and then you can try to solve for that part. But I think you already have that happening. And I know for sure EED does. And I believe they mail it out too. So as far as my understanding, Leonard writes handwritten kind of synopsis of, so there's that as well.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, so that's the proposal that we have. Unless there's any objections, we're following that course of action. Regarding, just one before we leave the communications working group, regarding the Hello Neighbor.
Sorry. I record all decisions made now, not the regular notes. So I just want to make sure, was that a decision you just made, Adonis? So I can record that?
Yeah, the decision is that we're going to encourage all the working groups to send their minutes if they take them to the communications working groups. And for those that don't, we encourage them to record their meetings
Yeah.
and send them to the communications working group.
And send
Perfect.
that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Um, any thoughts about the Hello Neighborhood app? Well, we're still on
I
this.
think the partners shall convene and discuss their stake before, and then maybe provide an update to the planning committee. So I will take that on. I will reach out to Ibrahim from Visions of Science. I'll reach out to YSM, and I'll bring in Tamana or Shahan or Nishan to that conversation as well.
Can I ask you to do it? Oh, well, okay. Yeah, you guys are your own partners as well. But I guess the communications working group is a partner as well.
Yeah, it's a part. Yeah. Somebody needs to be present. Yeah.
So
I'll make sure Adonis, you're invited, or whoever is designated by the communications working group to that meeting.
yeah, I guess to me, partly it's a little bit beyond just the partners. It's how effective
Well, but I
to,
think that's a good conversation for you, says partners, to have.
yeah.
You know, is there a status update? Are there any plans in the works? Like, where is it at? Because that'll kind of
Good.
help inform.
Delicious. Yes, thank you. Yep.
Brandy, can you zoom? Mute. Thanks.
Gail's hands up.
Gail, go ahead.
So with the amount of conversation I've heard, I don't think this is viable. I've heard numerous conversations from YSN, and I think part of this is money. So I don't think it's viable, but we can go through the motions again. What I would certainly suggest, alternatively, or in addition to, that you look at the other apps out there that do that thing. And the one I say is the next door neighbor app, because this is what this was supposed to be, right? So, if you think of this strategically, you have minimal use of the app. Most people don't know about it. There's minimal information there. It hasn't been used, and you can get the data, and the data will tell you certainly. So do you spend time, money, effort to get this to the right level of visibility, or do you go after something that currently exists? But again, what is the end goal? Because if the end goal is to say we own a neighborhood app, then yeah, we should run with it. But if the end goal is we want to add a communication tool that will help us to spread X, Y, or Z message, I think that's a different, that's a different end goal, right? So there's that too. But look, we should all have all the conversations in the world, but from the last conversations, right? And anytime we don't have the money, the thing stops again. It's been start and stop for so many times. So I almost see a waste of money because you start something, you did some work, you stop. So all of that lift is gone, and you do it again, stop, and all that lift is gone again.
Yeah, I don't think it's viable at all. So that's my opinion, and that's from the status of the reports that I've had so far. But that's just my opinion, personal opinion. But yes, we'll bring together the partners, have a discussion,
Yeah, have your conversation.
go from
And
there.
then you can pull out of the
Yeah.
MOU if you need. Maybe they feel the same way. Find out what's going on.
The committee also discussed preparing a draft letter to update the City of Toronto on recent developments within the SDP network. Let's see what updates they will provide to the city, along with the resources and support they hope to receive.
Anything else should be in this letter? What's the CRA? Oh, the CRA position. Informing them of the CRA. Yes. Anything else that people feel needs to be part of this letter?
So the end goal is just to inform the city of these things? Is that what the end goal is?
Yeah.
So, and we had all these other times when we met with the city, so are there, I don't know. I don't even know what my question is.
We haven't spoken with the city since November.
Okay.
And since November, we've had a new co-chair, a website, the CRA position. All of this is new.
I don't know. What is the CRA position? What is
It's
CRA?
Conflict
It's the-
resolution.
Oh my God.
Conflict
So now
resolution.
we want to use what? Yeah, I know we're using, I would suggest we not use any acronyms like that. But the CRA already means something in Canada. Ay, ay, ay. But I would also, so have we sent out an email saying,
Anyway,
oh, this
this
is it?
is all, the point what I was making, Gail, is that they don't have any awareness
Okay.
of these items.
I was gonna follow up and say, does even our own network have any awareness? Did information go out to our network saying these things? I don't know who the new coaches are. I thought I come to meetings fairly regularly.
I don't know. I also want to make an ask for some money so we can plan a stakeholders table meeting.
Yeah. Anyway, I would say too, anytime we are gonna communicate with the city, that we first communicate with our members and say, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know, did we send an email saying these are the new co-chairs? Because apparently you have new co-chairs.
No, we're working on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Under new business, Deanie Peters raised the possibility of connecting the SDP network's work with the Toronto Strong Neighborhood Strategy. According to the City of Toronto, the strategy is an action plan designed to strengthen partnerships in the neighborhoods across the city so communities can thrive. It focuses on building the capacity of community-led groups and leaders across Toronto's 4 distinct areas: Etobicoke York, North York, Toronto East York, and Scarborough. The strategy also prioritizes the leadership and participation of Indigenous, Black, and other equity-deserving groups within neighborhood improvement areas and emerging neighborhoods. By strengthening social, economic, and physical conditions at the local level, the initiative aims to create broader citywide impact. The discussion raised the possibility of how Regent Park's community work through the SDP network could connect with these broader city initiatives. Let's see what she had to say.
Deanie, did you want to say anything about the?
All I wanted to share is that recently the downtown action plan was shared by the safety network with members of the Regent Park Safety Network. And when I went into it, I noticed that the information was very outdated. So I was looking in that information is information around the Toronto Strong Neighborhood Strategy. And I was trying to figure out how Regent Park is connected, or where or how Regent Park is connected to the Toronto Strong Neighborhood Strategy. And I couldn't. And I don't know if we're connected. I don't know how we're connected, but I know that the city has put a lot of attention and focus into the Toronto Strong Neighborhood Strategy. So I would like us to get some information and understand what is going on with that strategy right now. Is Regent Park connected in any way? And in what ways is it benefiting communities? Like, we need to know, because quite frankly, I don't have that information. I've asked other people, they don't seem to have that information. But I think it would be helpful. There may be some beneficial ways that, it's helping communities and across Toronto, and we're not leveraging it.
I believe one of the action steps as part of this proposal is to have someone come in to talk to the planning committee. And Brandy was going to reach out to somebody about that. Brandy?
Yes, I'm still waiting on confirmation. I should know by tomorrow evening, the latest.
Okay. It's probably inviting them to the Thursday 1 p.m. meeting, since they
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah, 1 p.m.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good.
I'd love to hear you.
Okay. So we'll follow up with that as well.
The meeting concluded with announcements, updates, and closing reflections on how the meeting went.
Any announcements? What do we have? We have a safety meeting. When are they meeting?
Yeah, the only
On
announcement
Monday.
that I have an announcement. RPNA is hosting of inaugural iftar this coming Sunday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. If you would like to attend, please let me know. It's already out on social media. It's already out in our newsletter. So please click the link. Several folks have been invited as well. Also, we've seen an uptake in responses for the Empowered Tenants project survey. We're at 518. So it's on the rise, and those are the most important updates. There's other announcements, but I think can wait for next week. Thank you so much. Those are the only sort of announcements that.
Okay. Well, that ends our meeting. We got through the agenda. And for a closer, quickly, just how you felt the meeting went, 1 to 5. We generally do that now.
I'm giving you 5 out of 5, Adonis. 5 out of 5.
Not me, us.
5 out
It's
of 5 for the
about me.
meeting. 5 out of 5.
You're really optimistic there. I'm giving it a 3.
Yeah.
Listen, I went through a lot of trauma with this committee. Okay, there's no yelling. I'm just gonna keep it to myself.
I'm going 3.
My expectations was this is a good meeting. Thank you.
Expectations are
Nobody
low.
yelled at me today.
All right, we start from Michael.
Well, if I can't remember the meeting, it was probably good.
One to 5.
I think I'm going 5.
5. Okay,
God.
Gil.
Oh,
Gil.
Sorry, you want me to give a rating on the meeting? You didn't give me any criteria.
1 to 5.
Yeah, but I can't give a rating without criteria.
You
So,
make your own criteria.
then it's you're barely at a 1 then. Yeah. The whole
Wow.
thing is planning. I don't know. The planning hasn't happened. The whole thing was residents. Oh, where's the residents? So yeah, got to give it a 1. Because a meeting is many things. It's the prep before it's all that is a meeting, right? So yeah, we're banging a 1. If you're asking about the facilitation, now that's different, right? Well, yeah, I'll give you a 5 for facilitation. But in terms of a meeting, yeah, this is a 1 barely. I'm putting you at -1, but sure.
Okay, a -1 for Gail. There it
Minus
is.
one for
Yeah.
Gail.
Yes,
All
but
right.
Brandy.
facilitation is 5, right? So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Brandy.
I would like to go for a 4. I think we did well. We listened to each other. Everybody shared their opinions. No, we maintained good flow. So I give it a 4.
Okay, and I give it a 3.5. Okay, folks.
Thank you,
Thanks
everybody.
for everything.
Thanks, Adonis.
Take care.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us on all our social media platforms. Please visit our website for more information.